We're about halfway through the year, and I thought I'll go ahead and give you an update on the gacha games I'm currently playing this year. And I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible because I'm going to touch on various different games. But for the most part, I'm just going to tell you what I think about them, if I'm having fun, you know, just kind of give you a quick, I don't want to say review, but just tell you my thoughts on the games so far, because there's some games I've been playing for years, there's some games that I just started, and my feelings tend to change. So I decided to use this video to update you on my generalized feelings on the games I'm currently playing this year. So for the new subscribers who haven't heard me talk about gacha games on this channel, and I want to thank y'all for subscribing, by the way, appreciate it. But the one thing you absolutely need to know about the way I play these games is I'm, for the most part, a full free-to-play player. That means every game that I play, I don't spend money on. Actually, since I've been playing these kind of games, there's only been 3 games I have ever spent money on since I've been playing gacha games. So anytime I speak about these mobile games that I play, understand for the most part, they're mainly free-to-play accounts. And as the record of this video, there's only officially 2 exceptions to that, because the 3rd game I played shut down. The other thing that I want to make sure that you know when I do video on gacha games, understand I am a casual gacha player. I don't go into detail like that on any of the games. Now, there are times where I do give y'all suggestions and tips on how I progress through games or just let you know how I do things, but I always preference by saying to make sure to check out other channels because they may have a different opinion from mine, or they may go way further in depth than what I will on this channel, because like I said, I am a casual gacha player, so I don't go that in depth when I do videos like this. Doesn't mean I don't give you suggestions, but that's exactly why I keep asking y'all when I do my account overviews to rate my account, because I want to know what y'all think about it and if there's ways I can improve. Now, even though I'm a casual gacha gamer, there is one kind of video where I do make an exception and actually do a lot heavier research than what I normally do, and that is when I do my summoning sessions. And maybe I might start this, but when I decide to do character profile. Now, I'll probably go into detail on another video on what my process is when I do those videos, but just know I do those kind of videos because I know there's a lot of times where I don't have time to go in and do my research on different characters, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that also has those problems. So I decided to make those quick start guides to hopefully bring people into games that I play and I enjoy, and just to maybe help them out when they don't have the time to just go into in-depth research, just like I don't at times. Now, right now, I only focus on FGO when I do my summoning sessions, but like I said earlier, that may change because I'm thinking about calling out Audible and doing character profiles instead, just so I can include more gacha games. But again, that's a maybe, that's in the works. But that's the only time I really do additional research compared to what I normally do when I just play games and just do it based on how I feel and how much fun I'm having. My bad for this intro being so long, but I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page as we continue to move forward, and particularly the new subscribers have a reasonable expectation when they watch videos from me when I talk about these kind of games. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and let me let you know about how I feel about the games I'm currently playing this year. Now, this is coming from a free-to-play player from my own personal experience, so you're welcome to feel differently, but this is how I feel so far as I've been playing these games this year. First game I'm going to talk about is Fate Grand Order. And I didn't start playing this game when it first came out, but I have stuck with it over the years. The thing about FGO as of today, I do like how they updated the animation style, but there's a lot of modern features that are not in this game. Everything's pretty much grindy. Like, everything that you gotta do is a grind. Playing the game, there's no skip function. Honestly, as of right now, this probably has this does have the worst pity system of any game that I actively play today. Right now, I'm in the rage quit cycle because I didn't get the characters that I want after saving for months, which doesn't make any sense. So, and I go through this every couple of years where I don't get the characters, so I stop playing. Then either I watch a YouTube video or I watch a Fate movie and it gets me back into the game. Or I summon and get a character that I want that gets me back into the game. Then I play, then I don't get a summon, then I rage quit, and it's just the same cycle. Honestly, I couldn't really recommend this game to anybody but hardened Fate fans, because I know if I was to recommend this to my friends, most likely they'll cuss me out. I actually had one friend that actually tried this game out and they quit right away. What I wish they would do is that they will make a new game and you could transfer all your characters that you summon for to that new game with all the modern features. Because yeah, this game definitely is not for the faint of heart because of how much grind you gotta do. So unless you're a Fate fan or a masochist, it's hard for me to recommend this game. And you know what? Since this is being released on a Tuesday, I'm going to bring back a series that I haven't done, I want to say like a year, but basically one of the first video series that I did on this channel. And that is Tierlist Tuesdays, which this is something that I used to do when I started my channel. I actually stopped because it felt kind of corny, I'm not gonna lie. But it makes sense for this video, so I thought I'll go ahead and rate the games I'm currently playing in 2025, at least halfway through 2025, and let you know how I feel about these games and if there's any changes from when I first started playing these games. And since we're talking about FGO, I'm gonna put you in. There can only be one FGO, because as of how I feel right now, with all the gacha games I'm currently playing, this is definitely showing its age. I do love the new animation updates, but it's really grindy. It takes forever to do everything. It takes forever to build characters. It just takes forever to do everything in this game. And the summoning rates are probably the worst I've played. Well, these are the worst summoning rates that I deal with for this entire year. So that's why there can only be one FGO, because if there's any other games like Fate Grand Order, I'm just going to let you know right now, they're going to fail. So I'm doing this list in no particular order. Next one is Counterside. And Counterside is a game that I 110% enjoyed and had a great time with. But as of right now, it's still installed on my phone, but I don't really play it much. Gacha rates are pretty cool. There's a lot of good things to do, but the issue is that I've been away for so long and they had an update, and ever since then I'm just kind of lost when I play the game. I forgot how to do everything, and there's just a lot going on that's the reason why I don't really play Counterside anymore. I still feel it's a great game, but it's not one that I pick up. Counterside goes into the spot it will stay installed on my phone. I'm not going to delete it, but I'm not actively playing it right now. But still, it's a good game that I would recommend. Echocalypse. First thing I want to say is I love the name of this game. That was a very creative name for a game. Now, I don't really play this game that often. It is still installed on this game, but it definitely does some weird things. Some of the gacha rates are okay. They're not the worst I ever dealt with. They're not necessarily the best, but they're definitely not the worst. The other thing that it does that's kind of weird is that basically the power of your account, it consists of everything. I know it's hard to explain, but if you play it, you'll understand. The other thing is the gameplay art style is definitely not for everybody. Even though I do like some of the character designs, the problem is it's very easy to get stuck in this game. Right now, I'm stuck. I can't really move. Now, there's some features I like in this game, but for the most part, the big reason why I don't play this game is right now, there's just a lot better games that are out right now. It's not the worst game I play, but As you see, I had to add a row, so that's why it says new now. But at the end of the day, Echocalypse has to be... I'm gonna keep Echocalypse installed on my phone, but it definitely is on the chopping block. Now, I'm usually not the biggest fan of idle games, but presentation does matter. And when it comes to Eversoul, the two things that sold me with this game, well, three things, is character design, the story, because I actually think the story is interesting. I can definitely admit that. And the biggest thing is that there's a lot to do, but the game itself is pretty organized and structured, so it's pretty easy to navigate. And that's what pretty much keeps me in the game. The summoning rates are actually really good. Now, of course, with a game like this, what really matters is that you want to get multiple of the same characters, because you got to merge a lot of characters to get the best out of them, just to be honest. And because this game doesn't take up too much of my time, this game will always probably be a mainstay. It will never be a main game that I play, but it's definitely a side game. Now, I'm not sure if it was earlier this year or last year, but I actually lost my account with this game. And I actually did drop it, but I finally got a hold of the team and they finally were able to restore my account. And now I'm back playing this game. And the main reason is that this is one of the very few gacha games that I actually put money into. And if I put money into it, I'm gonna keep playing. Eversoul will always be... It will always be a mainstay, but it will never be the main. It's always a side game. You know what? That's what I'll say. There we go. That's a category. Side game. Eversoul will always be a side game. And now to the game that almost replaced Eversoul for me, and that is Starseed. Which, if you play Eversoul, Starseed is basically the same kind of game. There's not that much difference. Of course, you have different character designs. You got a different theme. The story's different. You know, there's different things like that. But for the most part, it's basically the same game. Besides a couple of different modes and gameplay mechanics, at the end of the day, the difference that you got to ask yourself if you want to get into any of these games, do you want more of a different world kind of story or more of an, well, they're both kind of different worlds. So that's, even this story is basically similar now that I think about it. Just one is in a different land, one is like in a digital space in the future. But either way, it's basically the same game for the most part. So yeah, just the big difference is, what coat of paint do you like? That's about it. Even the summer rates are pretty much the same. The character merging is pretty much the same. So yeah, there's really not a difference between Starseed and Eversoul. Pretty much the same game. Starseed, basically, it's in the same place as Eversoul. Basically the same game, not much of a difference. Quick correction, summoning rates feel the same. I don't know if they are the same. Outerplane. I like to call this one Epic 7 Lite. Technically, it's produced by the same publisher, but I definitely enjoyed this game. I actually played it when it first came out, but Currently, I actually just got back into it because I wanted to drop it in, because one thing happened that I didn't like, and that was the festival summons. Once they brought out the festival summons, I pretty much dropped the game at that point because I really didn't like how that system was done. But just like any game like this, once I come back, I have some currency, I summon, I get a couple of characters that I like, I'm pretty much back, and that's what happened with this game. I left, had some great summon sessions, and now I'm back playing it. Now, this will never be a main game, but this is a game that I will keep coming back to. I definitely love the story of this game. The story of this game is actually pretty good, but the thing is, now that I'm back, there's a lot of changes, so I'm still trying to figure out things. And the other thing is, because I haven't played this in so long, there's certain story sections or story beats that I've read and I pretty much have no idea what's going on. So I pretty much need to play through the game so I can catch up with the story, because some of the side content when it comes to the story, I'm lost. But the big negative I would say about this game that I'm still dealing with, and this is the other reason why I dropped the game, it wasn't just festival summons, it's also I got stuck. And right now, I think I'm still stuck, what is it, hard chapter 2-10, and I haven't been able to progress after that, and so that's really the main reason why I actually dropped the game. It wasn't just the festival summons, that was just a cherry on top, but it was also that I got stuck. And like I said, right now, I'm still stuck in the game. Outside the festival summons, the summoning rates are actually pretty good. I would actually say this game is free to play friendly. But yeah, the biggest issue that you may run into is progression, but I think once you build your characters, you'll get past it. But right now, I'm still stuck. Even though I have my issues with the game when it comes to a particular banner and progression, all in all, I still would say, for the most part, this is a good game and I definitely have fun with it. I definitely enjoy the story, and there's definitely some points where it will get you laughing. And there's definitely a comedic feature of this game. So I definitely do enjoy this game. I definitely have fun playing it. And again, I do need to progress through it personally. The one other issue that I want to bring up is that there's not really a good website guide that covers this game. So the support, I don't want to talk about the community support, but the support of coverage for this game, in my opinion, isn't there like it was when it first started. And that kind of makes me kind of uncomfortable. And don't get me wrong, this game still has some coverage, but when it comes to the website, it's not there like, for example, its counterpart Epic 7, and even the YouTube support isn't there like it used to be. So there is still some, but it's not what it was. And like I said earlier, because of that, that does make me nervous for the future of this game. So with all that being said, Outerplane is an A tier game for me, at least to me. So I wanted to quickly pause the video because if you're looking on screen, as you see, I updated the tier list, and that's because I'm tired of pausing and updating it while I'm recording. So I'm just going to go down this list real quick and just let you know what each of these tiers mean. And then after that, we'll go back to the regular video. First is the main games, or the S tiers, which either could be a main game on this list, but main games are specifically the games that I always play that are just really good. That's why it's in my main game, that's why it's S tier. Good games are games that are good, that I play from time to time, that are solid, I always come back to, and they always stay installed because I always go back and play them. Solid games are games that I feel are solid, just under good, above average, but I may delete them, but then I always keep coming back all the time. Side games are games that I play really quickly, or they are played with other main games, so I don't spend a lot of time in them. So basically, I just do my dailies, do what I have to do to get out. The average tier are games I just think that are okay, or they're games I feel that have no originality, or lastly, they have some major issues. There can only be one, that's just the FGO tier. And then installed but may be deleted, which these are games that are on the chopping block, which means either a better game comes out which takes that place, or I run out of space. That doesn't mean these games are necessarily bad games, they're just on the chopping block for whatever reason. And now the last tier are games that I decided to drop, are going to drop, or like Final Fantasy Brave Exodus War Division, it actually ended. And the one thing I want to say about Final Fantasy War Divisions, this was a good game. I actually enjoyed it. I wish I spent a lot more time with it. I guess you could say I just kind of got bored with it. I started playing other games, but it always stayed installed on my phone. Never deleted it. But now that it's over, and if you watch my last video, that's why I'm not going to go into too much detail, just watch the last video. I kind of regret not putting more time into it. But that's an example of a game that I dropped or a game that got shut down. So now let's go back to the rest of the video. Next game I'm bringing up is Mirren Star Legends. And this is actually a new game that I picked up recently. And first thing I want to say is that it's definitely different because you kind of have like two sets of characters. So there's your main party characters, and then what are they called? Asters, which are kind of like your main attackers that you equip with your main party members, and they kind of attack together. It's hard to describe because I don't remember playing something like this before. It's definitely an interesting concept, and you can see on the screen. And I do like that aspect of it. I also really do like the character designs in this game. I definitely like that. One thing I will say, the script definitely needs some work, but I don't really play this game fully for the story. The other thing I want to say is that the summon rates is kind of weird. So every summon that I've done, I had to pity. So every SSR character I got, they were all pities. And that's why the summon rates is so awkward to me, because I do get characters and the pity is low, but the rates don't seem to be that good. So I would say summoning in this game is okay. One of the biggest issues with this game is the difficulty spike, because the difficulty of this game spikes pretty quickly. And you can kind of keep up, but you got to do a lot of grinding to really keep up and to actually keep your character level. Even now I'm having issue getting through the games and progressing through the game, particularly when it comes to the side story. The other thing about this game is that this game, because it's published by Crunchyroll, it has a pretty bad reputation. If you go on Reddit, you'll find so many complaints about this game because of Crunchyroll itself. And I'm not sure this is true. Actually, hold on, let me look it up. Okay, I did look it up. This game was killed twice in China. So I guess that's a home country. So this game has some really big red flags now that I've looked it up. But I'll admit this. I am actually enjoying this game because it definitely is different from the other gacha games that I'm playing, and that's what's keeping me going with this game. But I don't expect this game to last that long. Now, with that information that I just said and I just gave you, and with the awful reputation that Crunchyroll has when it comes to these kinds of games, Mirren goes right here. Honestly, in my opinion, I would actually put it in solid, but because of Crunchyroll and because of what happened in China, it has to go into average. And also because how hard progression is in this game. Definitely goes in average, and it definitely has this issue. And these are something that y'all need to be aware of when picking this game up. So now it makes sense why this game does not have a lot of support. Next game on my list, and this is also a game that I recently just picked up a couple of months ago. Actually, it just released. And that is SD Gundam G Generations Eternal. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I already have a couple of videos on this series, and I'm probably going to cover it again in the future. But this game, I have so much fun playing. So what I'm going to do here is, now that I'm further into it, I'm just going to tell you what I think about it now with all the updates. And some of my views still stand. Story presentation, I have an issue with. There's not really much to do. And part of that is just how I play, because I could have probably beat a lot of the Eternal Road bosses, but I'm not actually developing all the units I need to develop to actually beat these stages. So that's why it's taking me a long time to beat those stages, only because I really only want to build the mobile suits that I actively want to build. And that's why it's taking me a long time to progress through the end game at this point. At the end of the day though, what I said before in an earlier video, yes, there isn't a lot to do, so it gets really boring. But when they add more things to this game and they add more events, this game is fun as heck. So the one thing I would say about this game, you know what? I actually rather say this. One of the biggest issues I find with this game is trying to get more diamonds, which you need for summoning. Is pretty bad in this game. The only way to really grind for diamonds is through the base, or you gotta wait for events. Hopefully it gets better, but right now, it's not, like, they need to do something about either bring out more events, or they need to up the amount or ability as a free-to-play player to grind for diamonds to summon for the new banners. So I will say this right now, I'm having the most fun playing SD Gundam G Generations Eternal right now, but it is very bare. I guess the best way I could describe it is, it's still a skeleton, but they need to build more onto it. And once they build more onto it, I think this is going to be a really great game. But because of that issue, as of right now, it could only be a side game. But this game has a lot of potential to become something really great and something really amazing. But they do need to fix that diamond issue. That's the big issue. So this is the last new game that's going to be part of this list, and that is Etheria Restart, which, as the recording of this video, I think I'm just a day over a week in, and there's not much I need to really say about this game, because right now this game has one of the best communities on the internet and is heavily supported. So any questions you have, you could probably find a better answer than what I can give you on this game, especially as a free-to-play casual gacha gamer. But I will say right now, I am having a lot of fun with this game. This game basically reminds me of Epic 7 or even Outerplane. Both of those kind of qualify with this game. I also can admit, I do like the gradual progression. I do get stuck from time to time. And I heard watching a YouTube video that once you hit level 35, you are probably gonna get stuck in this game. So I'm trying to watch videos to avoid that. But for the most part, I really do enjoy this game. And it's actually fun. And there's nothing I can really say outside of what I just said that's really negative. Also, when it comes to the summoning rates, I would actually say it's pretty good, because I definitely got a couple of SSRs. The only issue that you'll find is when you go for the light and dark units. From my understanding, those characters are a little bit more difficult to come by. Now, I will say that since I've been summoning in the standard banner, I have at least got one dark unit, and I heard that she's one of the best characters in the game, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I think I'm getting pretty close to being at the end of the story, which I did enjoy the story. It's actually pretty good. It's not the best gacha story I ever read, but it's definitely a good one. That's the best I could say. And I think it needs more time to develop. So I'm recording this from the future. I want to say I might be either a couple of days or maybe at least a week from when I record this video. And the one thing I want to add to this section for y'all to be aware of, it feels like when you're going through certain game modes in this game, you have to have specific characters to beat certain stages. The problem is, and the problem I'm running into right now, is that I don't have enough resources to put into every character. Now, I do want to add, I am doing this video during the double drop event that's going on in this game right now, so it's been very helpful for progression. But for the most part, it does kind of worry me, especially if you're free to play, that progression can be a little difficult because of that. Now, my views can change maybe the next time I do this video, but for now, that's how I feel. Now, back to my past self. The one thing I also forgot to mention is that the pity system is actually pretty good in this game. And so with everything that I just told you, this game goes into good game. And the reason for that is because I have not fully committed on making this a main game, not just yet. Well, in my opinion, most likely in December or January, whenever I do this video series again, I have a feeling this game's going to be bumped up to a main game. But right now, it's just a good game because I have yet to fully commit. I can't believe how long this video's becoming, but I only got 2 more games to go over. And the second to last game I'm going to bring up, that is Epic 7. And Epic 7, I can't believe how long I've been playing this game for. I remember playing this game day one when it first released, and I've been playing it ever since, and I've been having such a good time with Epic 7. But I also definitely had some bad times. But anyways, we're not talking about the past. We're talking about how I feel about Epic 7 this year up to this point. And I will say that Epic 7 is definitely a good game. It's definitely made a lot of great improvements. And the only reason why I'm back playing Epic 7 was basically because FGO, I want to say last year, pissed me off. And I decided to open up Epic 7 again. And yeah, there was definitely a lot of improvements. One particular event actually got my account up to par, so I came back at the right time. The gacha rates are actually pretty good unless you're talking about Moonlight Summons. Moonlight Summons are a lot tougher to get, but at least unlike when they first came out, there's actually ways to get Moonlight Summons. Just don't expect to always get the ones that you want. But at this point, I think I have a good enough team where I might finally be able to compete in PvP. So I've definitely been practicing with that and checking that out. I haven't topped that at all, but I definitely have been checking out PvP more. I don't like the last recent update where they changed the menu system. I kind of miss the old menu where you were in the bar and everybody was chilling at a table. Like, I miss that home screen. I mean, I know they have it, but they don't have it like they used to, and I would love for that to be brought back because I just like that one better. One of my favorite updates to the game since I've been back is the improvement to the skip function. I love it so much now. It's such a great update. I love it so much. The only thing I would say I need help right now when it comes to Epic 7 is dealing with duplicates because I don't know what to do with them, and also dealing with an inventory issue and trying to get better gear so I can kind of get rid of a lot of the junk gear that I have because I have a ton of gear. They're all good, but some of them aren't good, but I just don't have any more space in my inventory, so I gotta figure that one out too. But now, when it comes to Epic 7, and the fact I've been playing this for so long, and the fact that I came back to it and I've been enjoying myself, and I definitely do like the updates, and I absolutely need to progress better in the story. I haven't done a lot of progression in the story yet. Epic 7 goes into currently my main game. I mean, just like Etheria Restart, it can actually go to good game, but right now I've been playing this so much and I've been doing a lot of building that currently right now, Epic 7 is my main game and I've been playing it like crazy. I've been building my units, and like I said, I'm getting ready to finally get serious with PvP and actually trying it out. I tend to be more of a casual gamer, but I'm actually going to try to take the PvP modes a little bit more seriously than I normally would. So that's the big change I'm making with Epic 7. Okay, now for the last game. And this game is something special because this was the first gacha game I ever played. And this one I actually spent the most money on. And that is Fire Emblem Heroes. First, let me say this, is the art style is definitely an acquirer's taste. I'll admit that. But I won't say I've been playing Fire Emblem ever since it first came out. That's not true. But I've been playing Fire Emblem for years. And there's been plenty of times where I stopped playing this game, but I always come back to it. At the end of the day, the one that I can say about Fire Emblem, it's just simply fun. I enjoy these games, and also getting access to all the legendary Fire Emblem characters. For example, Lyn was the first Fire Emblem character I ever played with in a Fire Emblem game, so I was happy to pick her up. Ike is my main, well, one of my mains in Super Smash Bros. I love Fire Emblem Awakening, even though I haven't beat it yet. I'm basically at the end game. I'm having issues, but I love Fire Emblem Awakening. But with that being said, the one thing that makes this cool is that you get so many different variants and redesigns of some of your favorite characters from that franchise. I have fun with Fire Emblem Heroes. I even like how they do the story too. Now, I'll admit, I do wish they had a little bit of an animation upgrade at this point, but this is kind of what I hope that SD Gundam G Generation Eternal becomes, because there's so many modes and so many additions to this game that there's always something to do. And this game gives me hope for, again, SD Gundam's future. Now, I never have once deleted this game. And because of that, Fire Emblem Heroes absolutely goes in good game. And the reason being is that, like I said, the gameplay art style, it could actually use an update. But I guess I should mention this. The summoning rates in this game are great. It's one of the most free-to-play games that you can get into. And it's basically, if you play Fire Emblem, this is like Fire Emblem Light. I love Heroes. So much fun. But the reason why it has to go into good game, because I don't really play it like that. That's the truth. I actually don't put any time into this game like I should. So that's why it goes into good game instead of main game, because there's days, even weeks, that I just go without playing this game. But I always come back to it and I never uninstall it. So that's it. That's it with the tier list Tuesday, I guess. But how I feel about the gacha games I've been playing halfway throughout the year. Once again, I will do another one of these videos either in December or January. It just depends. I just give you an update on how I feel about these games, either at the end of this year or starting next year. It just depends on when I decide to do it. But hopefully, if you're trying to start one of these games or interested in these games, I recommend you look them all up. But I hope that this video helps you out if you're trying to figure out or if you're trying to get yourself into gacha gaming. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I want to thank y'all for checking out this video. And at the end of this month, June 2025, I will be doing another comments address. So make sure to leave your comments down below. Before I go, I want to have a little fun. So in this video, I mentioned 2 of the 3 games I spent money on. My question to you is, what is the 3rd game I actually spent money on? Here's some clues. First, the game is no longer active. Second, the publishers already published a new game, which is one of the top gacha games on the market today. And lastly, I currently do not play that game. One more bonus clue, I actively have talked about that game on this channel in a past video. Now, leave your comment down below, and the first person to get it right, I will feature your comment in a future video. So comment down below, let me know what that game is. I know those clues are vague, but I'm also not trying to make this easy either. Now, with that being said, I think we're about 49 subscribers from the next milestone, so do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And just so you know, a comments address should be coming out later this week. Make sure to leave your comments down below, and if they're good, I may feature them in that comments address. So make sure to leave your comments, and I'm going to leave you with this summoning session from Etheria Restart so this footage doesn't go to waste. Alright, have a good one. And be aware, I did leave out my failed summoning sessions.
私は各県、各道は私の兄。君への処刑命令はまだ。
ここ、あんたの島？
俺は艇長。一応
貴様には会ったことがあるぞ、ハイパーリンカー。
執行官を呼ぶとは見上げた度胸だ。いいだろう。貴様の話を聞